welcome to my channel. My name is Andrea and today we are going to be diving into sublimation. And so welcome back. So this is a sneak peek at what we're going to be making today. We're going to be doing a sublimation tumbler, and I'm going to be showing you a few tips and tricks on how I get my sublimation tumblers to turn out pretty good for me. So if you're interested in how I make this tumbler, stick around and I will show you the supplies that I use, and I'll be giving you a few tips on how this works out for me. And I'll be sharing all the links of all the supplies that I use for everything that is linkable. So first I'm going to be showing you here the program that I use to make my projects. So you'll notice here that I'm using Silhouette Studio. So first I do want to mention that you do not have to have a Silhouette machine to download this software. So you can download this software and you don't have to have a Silhouette machine. I'm just showing you here how easy it is. You can make your own designs, but I'll show you here that I purchased the design and I just sized it to the size of my cup. So you'll just see here I downloaded it. I had already purchased it and it was already on my computer, so I just merged it here into the software and then I sized it. You always want to make sure that you are mirroring your design. This one, it didn't really matter so much because there weren't any words on it, but you always want to get into the habit of mirroring your design, and then you just want to flip it so that it fits on the paper. So you'll see that I am mirroring it here, and then I'm just going to flip it 90 degrees so that it'll fit on my 8.5 by 11 paper that I'm going to be printing it out on. So that's what I'm doing here. And then next you'll just see me setting it up for my printer. I do use an Epson printer that I converted into a sublimation printer. So that is what you're going to see me doing here next, and you'll see here how easy that was. Now of course, if you're going to be creating your own design, it's going to be a little bit more to it just because of, you know, whatever design elements you want to pull in. But if you're going to be using a design that's already created for you, that makes it so much easier, especially if you're just starting out. But that was super easy just to use a design that you purchase. So let's go ahead and get started. Hi, welcome back everyone. So I just showed you how I set up the design in the Silhouette Design Studio. So now I want to show you all of the materials that we're going to be using today to make this tumbler. So of course, first off, we have our tumbler, which this tumbler, it comes with, it's just a blank sublimation tumbler that comes with a lid. It also comes with a metal straw. You can get these that come with the metal straw or they come with the plastic straw, just depending on how you buy them. But I purchased the ones that come with the metal straw. We're also going to be using some heat resistant tape. The brand that I am using today is made by Caesar, and I just have it in just a regular tape dispenser. It just makes it easier for me to get it out. So that's what we're using there. I'm also using, it's a tumbler tool. It's just like a little pincher. I found this to be helpful to me. I purchased it when I just had trouble just taping it down. So when I put the paper around the tumbler, I just take this and I just pinch it and I just let it sit there so that when I'm taping, I can just make sure that it is just lined up perfectly. So I can just have it on there to hold it still while I'm putting the tape on there. This is not something that you have to have, but I just like it because it just holds the paper in place so that I can make sure that my design is just held tight. Again, not something that you have to have, but I like it. It came as a set of 2. So this is just something that I like, that I thought was really handy. So I'm going to be using this. And for the paper that I use the A-Sub. There's a few different ones, but this is the one that I've always used every time that I sublimate. It's the 125G, the 8.5 by 11 sheets. This comes with, how many sheets are in here? It's 110 sheets that come in this. This is something that I got from Amazon, and I will have all of the materials linked in the description. So if there's anything that you have questions about, there's going to be links for all of the materials that I use today in the description. Also, we're going to be using just some heat resistant gloves. I know they say heat resistant, but even when you use these gloves, you still want to be really, really careful, because as you can see, not every single place on the glove is covered by these little dots. So even when you use these, you still want to be really, really careful. They really do help with the heat, but you still want to be extremely careful when you're using these. I also use a lint roller, and you'll see that in just a little bit, but I use a lint roller. I also use just a plain microfiber cloth as well. And I tend to not use this, but some people like to wipe their tumbler down with the alcohol wipe. This is something you can do. I've never done it, but some people choose to do that, but I don't necessarily do this myself personally. Something that I don't have pictured here, but of course you'll need your sublimation printer. You can buy a sublimation printer that's already just made for sublimation, or you can convert one. You'll need some sort of tumbler press. Some people use the sublimation ovens, or I've heard of other methods, which I won't even mention, but there are other methods that you can use as well. You'll also want something so that you can measure your tumbler, so that you can make sure that when you measure out your design before you print it out, so you can get some accurate measurements. There's this type, of course you want to make sure you're using the right side, but there's this type, and then there's one other one that I recently bought that I wanted to show you as well, which I thought was really neat. I didn't mean to bump the camera there, but there's this one which I thought was really cool, where it actually, you can put it around it. Y'all have to excuse my ashiness, but you put it around it and it actually shows the measurements, and the inches are actually inside, which I wish the inches were on the outside, but inches are on the inside, so you gotta kind of have to look inside to see what the measurements are. But I thought this was neat, so that's another option. Am I missing anything? So we have pretty much covered all of the materials that we are going to be using. A couple of things that I did want to mention that some people use that I've never used but can be helpful. A lot of people, they use butcher paper, and what they do is they'll put the butcher paper on the inside of the press, so that if any of the ink leaks out, that it's covering the inside of the press, so that it does not get on there, so that it doesn't get on other designs. I'm gonna be honest, I've never done it. It is something that I could recommend. Again, I've never done it, but I am gonna tell you that that is something that a lot of people will do. Now, I will tell you that when I'm sublimating on other items, like using my press for like my mini press or my big like t-shirt press, I will put something on those surfaces to avoid any ink getting on any of those surfaces. But for the tumbler press, I've never done that, so I did want to mention that as well. Also, You want to make sure that you're paying attention with whatever press you have to your temperature and your adjustment for how tight it is, because that's going to really make a difference in how well the design turns out. Because if it's not tight enough on it, you may not see a good result. So that's something else you want to pay attention to as well. And also, depending on what press you're using, the temperature that I give you, that I use for my press, may be different for whatever press that you're using. So these temperatures that I give you today may not necessarily work for whatever press that you have. So please keep that in mind as well. It did take me a little while to figure out what temperature, what pressure points worked for me. And once I figured that out, I've kind of kept it at that same temperature, the same time, once I figured out what worked for me. So when you do start using whatever press you have, you're gonna definitely go through a process of testing out your press. You may mess up some tumblers, or not necessarily mess up some, but you may have some where the design doesn't look as good until you figure out what works for you. So just keep that in mind. So just be encouraged until you get your settings right. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into it. So what I like to do first, before I get started, well, first let's go ahead and get the press turned on. So mine is already set to the temperature that I use. On this particular press, I use a temperature of 350, and I have it set for 55 seconds. And what I do is I put it in there 55 seconds, and then I flip it and I do another 55 seconds. And that has been working for me. So what we're gonna do is, first, I'm gonna just wipe it down. So I like to do that just to make sure there's not any oils or anything like that. Again, you can definitely use the alcohol prep pads or just spray it down with alcohol. I've never done that. And I always just like to take a look at my tumbler, make sure there's not any dings or anything like that on it. Like, I do see there's a few little spots on here. This is gonna be for me. I'm not as concerned about it. If I were making this for someone else, I probably would pick out another one. But since this is for me, I'm not too concerned about it. If this was something I was making for someone, I would worry about it, but it's not. But again, I'm gonna be doing a Hello Kitty design. This is for myself. It's not something I sell, especially with it being a character design that's licensed. You definitely don't want to sell those, so please be mindful of that. All right, so I've gotten this wiped down good. And why I like to use the Lint Roller is because if you have any lint on there and you put the sublimation on there, it will catch that lint and you'll be able to see it in your design. Like, it's gonna leave some little spots or specks. So I like to just, and it can be a little frustrating when you're doing that. I know it probably seems weird using a lint roller on a cup, but this has worked for me. Let's see, there's a little bit of that glue. So yeah, I am gonna take this alcohol pad after all. There's a little bit of that residue. I don't want any of that residue on there. Another thing I'll recommend is, even if you have multiple cups that you have, even out of the same box or same pack, measure every single one of them, because I have a whole case of cups and all of them may measure off a little bit. And see, of course, that's the design. Like, I have a case of cups, and then some of them may measure slightly different. Like this cup, for instance, same case, but this is the same measurement that I have been using for just about all of my cups, but it measured a little bit short. And it's my fault. I didn't measure this one specifically. But this is just a lesson. Measure every single cup. Like, if you got a case, measure every single cup. Every single one. It makes a difference. But again, this is for me. So I'm not worried about it. I'm gonna use it regardless. So like with this, when I pinch this, I'm able to check and make sure that this lined up, and it's not perfectly lined up. So I'm gonna take this off and do it again. It's a little better. It's on the cup, and then when you pull the paper off of the cup, you should see that it should be very light on the piece of paper, so there shouldn't be much ink left on the paper. If you see a lot of ink left on the paper, like a lot of color, then that means that it didn't activate as well as it should have on the actual whatever you were sublimating on. All right, so now we're ready. Make sure y'all can see. So this is a little hot. Let me bring it over. So I always, just so I can remember which way I taped, I always put the tape side down first. Put it in there, facing down. And then it does it for 55 seconds. So y'all, I'm impatient. I know you're supposed to wait until this cools off, but I'm impatient. So I always start peeling this off as soon as it comes out and just start using my little tools. I'm gonna start peeling it. Again, please wait or be cautious if you're not gonna wait. But I got my gloves on and I'm just using my tools to peel this off because I can't feel any of this right now. But I'm so impatient. Like you can always see through the paper that it gets darker when you sublimate. And usually that's a sign that the sublimation took. Hopefully it took. I always hope and pray that it took anytime I do a project, because you just never know. I mean, usually as long as you know you did everything right, it should be fine. You know, something could always go wrong. I just got a little peek there. I love this design because it looks like glitter without having to do all the work of putting glitter on it. So, and as y'all know from one of my previous videos, I love Hello Kitty. Since I made that cup for my daughter, I've been wanting something for myself, so I had to do something for me. So this is probably gonna be the cup I drink out of while I'm working all day at work. Keep my ice water cold all day so I can make sure I'm drinking my water, because I have a bad habit of, while I'm sitting at my desk all day at work, I'm not drinking enough water. So looking at a cute cup all day can be my reminder. Oh, look at it. Oh my gosh, y'all. Look at it. Look at it. Oh my gosh. Look at it. I even got the seam pretty good, where you can barely see the seam, but that's where the seam was at. Oh my goodness. Y'all comment down below if you are a Hello Kitty fan as much as I am, because I love Hello Kitty. Let's see, is it still hot? It's probably too hot for me to put back on the little stand. But y'all, is that not the cutest thing? And y'all, if you have made it this far in the video, I wanted to make a special announcement. So as you all can see, I have made it to, at this point, 200 subscribers at the time of this video, or somewhere close to that. And I just want to say thank you to anyone who is a returning watcher of my videos, or anyone to anyone who is new, who has just started watching my videos. I am just so thankful for all of the support, and I would just like to give back. And anyone who comments on this video, I would like to make one of these cups just like this to give back. So once I get to 500 subscribers, I would like to do a giveaway of one of these Hello Kitty cups. I'm gonna make another one just like it, and I'm gonna give one away to someone who comments on this video. It's gonna be a random one. So please comment on this video, because I want to give back, because I want to thank everyone who has been watching my videos. So on this video in particular, I want you to just let me know what you think of this video, of this cup. Just say hi, leave me an emoji. Just let me know what you want to see on the channel. Just say hey, just whatever. I just want to thank you guys for just helping me out, helping my channel to grow. But just, yeah, I'm going to be doing that once I get to 500 subscribers. So just leave me a comment. I will continue to do more videos, of course. Let me know what you want to see in the future. But I want to thank you for watching this video with me. Leave the video a like, subscribe, and thank you so much for watching this video. Thanks for watching. Bye.